Hello and welcome back. I'm Helen and this is What Helen Reads, and today I'm recording my Newbie BookTube tag video for you. Okay, so as I'm new to BookTube, I thought I would do the new to BookTube tag video, and that's where I get to answer 10 questions so that I can practice my video skills, recording skills and editing skills, but also so you can get to know me a little bit better. So I'll get stuck straight in and I'll go straight to question number one, which is, why did you start the channel? Well, I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for a really long time, but always kind of lacked the confidence to kind of give it a go. I'm quite shy, I'm quite introvert, I don't really like putting myself out there, and I'm a bit of a passive viewer on social media generally. I really don't like to put myself out there and rarely post myself. But over the years, it's something that I've really been interested in and wanted to do, particularly because I'm so passionate about books and I love talking to people about the books that I like to read. And as I've watched more BookTube videos and more content creators, I've kind of looked at that and thought, that's something that I would really like to, give a go, and to see if I can do it as well. Now, like I said, I did lack a little bit of confidence, but about 6 months ago, I started to research how I might start a channel, what sort of things I'd need to know in order to do that, and also to start practicing recording some videos. And more recently, I watched a couple of videos, one from That Tall Book Girl and one from Honest Fiction, about how they started their channels and some top tips about what they would do if they were starting, and a bit of encouragement. And this gave me the final nudge really to basically post my first video. So the second question is, what fun and unique things can I bring to YouTube or BookTube? Well, the truth is, I'm not really sure I can bring anything fun and unique to BookTube that isn't already being done by another content creator. And it was one of the reasons that I put off starting the channel for such a long time, because I really lacked the confidence that I could bring anything different or unique to the table. But having watched some other videos about how people started their channels or advice to people starting channels, some of the things that they said really resonated with me, and that's that basically we're all human beings and we're all different. And therefore, just by being ourselves, we are unique, and therefore even if I read the same books as somebody else, review the same books as somebody else, my opinions about the book are going to be different, and therefore my videos are going to be unique, just because it's about me and what my opinion is on what I'm reading. So the next question is, what am I most excited for in starting the channel? Well, I guess what I'm most excited for is to be able to talk about the books that I love and recommend them to you guys. Hopefully some people will actually watch the videos, comment on the videos, and I'll be able to make some friends. I really want to be able to make some friends with people who have the same interests as me and like the same types of books as me, and we can really get into a conversation about what we love about them. I'm also really excited to see, one, if I can actually do it, if I start to get some subscribers, people start to watch my videos, and just really see how I grow as a person, how my skill set grows, how confident I become, and really, just seeing how the channel will develop over the following weeks and months. So the next question is, why do I love reading? Of course, I absolutely love reading. It's what I mainly do in my spare time, and I love it because it's a really good bit of escapism. After a hard day at work or a long week, there's nothing better than sitting down with a good book, cozying up under a blanket, and just escaping into a completely new world. I love exploring new worlds and new characters. I particularly love romance novels, which I'll get onto in a little bit, and just really experiencing all the all the emotions, the happiness, the sadness, and exploring a new world with a whole new set of characters, and hopefully getting the happy ever after at the end. So what book or series got me into reading? Well, like I said, I've been reading pretty much my whole life, and I've been an avid reader since my teens. And during my teens, I used to go to the library quite frequently, and I loved, in particular, the Heartlines, Sweet Dreams and Sweet Valley High kind of series that they put out for teenage girls. And this is probably really showing my age, but one of my favourite books back then was P.S. I Love You by Barbara Conklin. It was a Sweet Dreams book, and really popular at the time. I popped a picture up on the screen, and you could probably tell from the cover that it's actually it looks pretty vintage, which is a bit shocking when I went back to look at the photos, because I don't remember them looking that kind of old and old-fashioned, but the style is very different to obviously the books that that are out now. But that was one of my favourites. I also remember Judy Bloom being really popular, and books like Are You There, God It's Me, Margaret and Forever being very much coming of age stories for girls with a little bit of a romantic edge to them, or girls exploring their sexuality as late teens, and I really like those books as well. So the next question is, what question would I ask my favourite booktuber? Well, I have quite a few booktubers that I love and I follow, and one of my favourites is Jen from the Book Refuge. As soon as she posts a video, I'm straight on there and watching what she has to say. I guess what I'd ask her, or anyone else that I follow, is how do you keep the momentum going? Because I think one of my biggest fears was that I wouldn't be able to keep the momentum going. I mean, not only do you have to constantly read all the books so that you can give all the reviews, but how do you come up with new ideas for videos, but also sticking to the schedule? I think it's really, really hard to fit it in, because I know most people, you know, are very busy, they've got full-time jobs, often have families, and then having the time to actually read and also sit down and prepare videos, record videos, edit videos, upload them, and then manage all the stuff that goes behind the scenes is quite hard work. So the question I would ask is, how do you stick to your schedule? How do you plan your schedule? And how do you keep the momentum going so that you can continue to produce content week in, week out for years to come? So the next question is about the challenges of starting a YouTube channel, and what do I think will be the biggest hurdles to overcome? So for me, it's twofold. One, I've sort of already touched on, but it's around the confidence level. So practicing talking in front of a camera, it's actually quite difficult. It's more difficult than you think. You've got all the, you know, all the words in your head up here, but when it's actually time to sit down in front of a camera and actually talk, it is really difficult. So that's the first thing. It's around confidence levels and actually practicing and making sure that I'm articulate and saying exactly what I want to say and expressing myself in the way I want to express myself on camera. I know that's going to be really difficult. The second part for me is around the technology. So while I'm not a complete technophobe, getting used to actually, you know, setting up the camera, filming myself, doing the editing, I think that is also quite hard. And just learning even how to upload a video to YouTube. There's a lot that goes into it, obviously. It's not just the filming, it's the editing, how do you upload it, how do you create thumbnails, that sort of thing. So really learning the technical side of how to create videos. And then the final thing for me, which I've also already touched on, is sticking to a schedule. I'm really, really busy, and like everybody else, you know, sometimes all I just want to do is sit down and rest. If I get some time to myself and have a day off, there's nothing more than I love to read. So how am I going to fit in to my busy schedule, sitting down and recording videos, editing videos, and again doing all of that admin stuff as well, because it's really time consuming. So the next question is, when did you start reading? And I'm assuming this question isn't about when to learn to read, because I'm pretty sure everyone learned to read at school, same as everybody else. But I guess it's, when did you become an avid reader? So like I've already said, I've been an avid reader really since my teens, and my family were always into reading, and my dad really encouraged us to read. We used to go to our local library every Monday, and we'd take out the maximum number of books and consume them in the week, take them back the following week. And so I've read, you know, a number of books every week since my teens. But I guess over the last few years, with the pandemic and working from home a lot more, doing less travelling, and not really being able to go out, I've gone back to reading much more frequently, to the point where it's almost become an obsession now. So for the last couple of years, I've easily read 200 books each year, and continue to read, you know, vast volumes of books. But really, like I say, I've read quite avidly since I was a teenager, and more recently in the last few years is when it's really taken off, and I've started to read an awful lot more. Okay, so question number 9 is, where do I read? So the majority of time I'm reading in my living room. My husband does read, but not as avidly as me, and he'll often put something on the TV to watch. Maybe he'll watch a movie or something on YouTube, and I'll still be in the same room with him, sitting next to him while he's watching something on the telly, but I tend to always have a book with me. I also read in the car, because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So when I'm travelling in the car, then I'll listen to an audiobook. And when I'm at home, I'll be reading my Kindle mainly. I mainly read on my Kindle rather than physical books. but I also rely on my phone quite a lot. So if I'm out and about, I'm waiting in a queue, I'm at a doctor's surgery waiting for my appointment, something like that, then obviously I read on my phone as well. So I've always got a book on the go and always reading in some form or other. And so finally then, the last question is, what kind of books do I like to read? And you've probably already guessed, probably not only just from my channel but from some of the things I've already said, but my passion is romance books, and in particular dark romance. So I've really got into dark romance in the last couple of years. My absolute favourite type of romance is a mafia romance, and really the darker the better. So if someone says this book is really dark, this hero is really dark, and he, you know, he's very controversial, or he does some unsavoury things, then it makes me want to read the book even more. Like I say, my favourite is mafia romances, and I just love the tropes that sit around that. So, you know, arranged marriage, forced proximity, captor captive, those types of romances I absolutely love and adore, and they're the ones that I'll be mainly recommending. But also any kind of romance really, so I dabble at everything, so everything from Omegaverse, shifter romances, historicals. I'll give anything a try, as long as it has a happy ever after at the end. So there you have it, that's 10 questions covering off the Newbie BookTube tag, and I hope you've learned a little bit more about me. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you can be alerted when I upload new content. My plan is to upload every Monday and every other Thursday, and hopefully I'll be able to stick to that schedule, and you can expect more content from me over the weeks and months. Thanks for watching, bye! Right, this is really hard, isn't it? Okay. So there we have it, 10 questions from the BookTube Newbie BookTube tag, the BookTube Newbie tag. So there we have it, 10 questions from the new it's really hard to say, I can't say it. So there we have it, that's 10 questions following the Newbie BookTube Newbie tag. I don't even know what video I've just recorded.